Stop blaming the foreigners. And you'll have faced this and answered this
Yes.
before, which I won't ask you to do now. I'm hoping you'll come back on a regular basis. But that, as well as many other things, you have seen so much change in this country and culture in that short space of time. I mean, the journey's been intense, hasn't it?
It has, and it's changing all the time. That's the one thing, is that you really don't want to get into this work if you're not prepared to be comfortable with change, because it is a substantial, constant stream of information that's moving and adjusting. I do feel like I'm very comfortable with speaking to the housing situation. I'm right in the thick of it. I see it from all sides. And I am very proud to say that one of our commitments, Clyde and I, was that we would hire Portuguese folks at more than the minimum wage. We hire at living wages, provide the support, because I personally believe that the housing crisis cannot be solved with just punitive measures towards people that are buying the properties. We need to change the wages. We need to get people in a situation where they can afford to purchase a home. The whole world has a housing crisis, and it's a disparity, in my opinion, between the wages people are paid and the availability of reasonable priced housing. So for me, I think that as an owner of a corporation in Portugal, and I tell you what, it is not easy, Carl. It has been.
I'm with you.
That is the hardest thing. The whole owning a corporation, having all of these employees on contract, working through it. You are not incentivized as a Portuguese company owner to make a profit or to succeed in that way. Every time you go a little bit, there's another tax. And as an employer, I struggle to make sure that I can pay these wages when we hire someone, because I am committed to that. There is no way we're going to fall back off of that commitment, but they don't make it easy. And
amazing. I love your values, your ethics in going into business here. And I feel your pain. Similar scars, not the same scale of scars by the sound of it, but I know exactly what you're talking about. And you've been very polite there. I think, they don't incentivize. I mean, you could put it a different way, and I would. It's disincentivized, isn't it? I mean, it's like there must be times where you're thinking, I don't. Why is this so difficult? You've firmly taken the bull by the horns there, with what you think the issues are. You've kind of, I see what's happening. I'll raise you with some decent wages for people and an excellent service that could be that is a great contribution to the economy. And it's being made really difficult for you to do that. I mean, that's insane, isn't it?
It is. It's funny, because I was at a cafe the other day with Portuguese friends, and we were having a coffee, and we were talking, and we were kvetching about taxes. And they were like, "Oh my gosh, you are so Portuguese now. All you need is a cigarette." And you were like right in the mix. And I felt so privileged to be sitting there with these people that have owned businesses for 15, 20, 30 years in Portugal. And we were like, about this and that. And they were like, "Okay, now you are Portuguese, because you get it. The tax burden on business owners."
Yes.
And the vendors we support, all the projects, all the people, the plumbers, the contractors, the small businesses that we use to help our folks get settled, these people are all benefiting from folks that can come in and buy homes or rent homes. And I think this negativity, it's the foreigners that are doing this, is really tough, because if we pull that out, there's a whole impact that will happen way beyond. It's a ripple effect way beyond the real estate market.
Well, and it's not confined to Portugal, of course. This is from the political playbook, isn't it? In every country,
yes,
the foreigners can make for quite an easy target. I think the politicians just kind of walk away when the population is saying it's the foreigners, and the politicians sort of just ease out of the frame and say, "Yeah, it might be the foreigners. We've got to go and have lunch now. Bye."
Yeah.
This is a very complex situation, and I think hopefully it will change over time. And I imagine you're figuring out ways to lobby and represent yourself in a way that might be part of that.
We're trying. We haven't really been able to focus on the political piece, because, quite frankly, the amount of work that we've had has kept us very nose to the focus on our business. But what we do know is, after a couple of years of being in Alcobaça, the support from the local business community, the restaurants, the city hall, the local businesses, has been really wonderful, because they see there's skepticism. And of course there's pushback, saying as more people in the Silver Coast are foreigners buying property, they feel like property prices have gone up. But once they see that there's a lean back, that they want to contribute to the community, that they're eating in the restaurants, they're having their dogs groomed at the groomers, they're going in and using all the different services, the medical. All of a sudden, I think the business people are like, oh, okay, I get this. I see this. These properties are going to, it's Portuguese folks that are selling these houses. These are the prices that they're putting on the houses. Yes. Okay, so they made that money, and these people are investing back in the communities they live in. It's not an easy subject, and I agree. We have to be thoughtful and considerate, and I would never encourage someone to come here and feel like they should change the way people do their life or their culture. If you live here, you should be jumping in with both feet and supporting the community you live in.
Well said. Excellent stuff.